And with us on this broadcast are our correspondents, Susan Tehrani joining us from New York and Anas Malik getting us the very latest from Kabul. Anas, coming to you first. You have been reporting from the Hamid Karzai airport all throughout the day. Describe to us what you have seen. To what extent are the Afghans being stopped from reaching the airport? What efforts have been made by the U.S. military personnel stationed at the airport to ensure that all those with documentation are allowed to go on their respective flights?
Well, I've been reporting here for the past 1 month now, and just as we speak, there are gunshots that have been fired. I really don't know what was going on. But coming back to your question, as we speak, I've been reporting in Kabul since the past 1 month now, and I was at the Hamid Karzai International Airport today as well. There are chaotic scenes. The Taliban are pretty much in control at least two locations that lead inside to the military side of the Hamid Karzai International Airport. And the Hamid Karzai International Airport's composition is such that 30% is controlled, is at the civilian side, whereas the rest 70% is with the military, which is controlled by the US and NATO troops, and that includes Turkish and Finnish troops as well. Now, at least two of the entrances, we've seen the Taliban guarding, literally barring people from going inside. The Taliban claim that they would be allowing only those who have proper documentation. But I was there at the final most checkpoint that leads towards the Barren Gate for about a good 30-35 minutes. I never saw a single person being allowed by the Taliban over there, being allowed to go beyond that particular checkpoint. So there's a lot of ambiguity over there. But at the same time, you see a lot of desperation of people. You'd see mothers and women crying, begging, literally begging to be allowed to go from that certain point to a certain gate. There is complete chaos. There is complete utter discoordination between authorities, and especially on the part of these evacuating missions. I can confirm that at least today at least 3 diplomatic missions belonging to the European countries have completely evacuated. Another 2 are to follow, but it comes with a caveat. These are the ones who are leaving are foreign troops. What happens to those who are assisting them? There is no clear answer. We've reported previously that there are only 2 embassies who are doing organized evacuations. One, that is the Pakistani embassy. The second is the Qatari embassy, which are organizing escorts from a particular point to the military side. People are angry, people are desperate, people are anxious, and they just want to leave. There are about 25,000 to 30,000 people who are outside, about 5,000 to 6,000 people who are inside, and people who are locals who I talked to, they say everybody just wants to leave. But in all practicality, the 31st August deadline does not look like that all of them would be able to evacuate, leave, or escape the country by the 31st of August. Molly?
And that is the biggest concern at this point. Coming to you, Susan, that comprehensive Pentagon press briefing left a lot of questions still unanswered. Take us through what remains unclear at this point, especially vis-a-vis the figures of those who are still to be evacuated from Kabul. And does the US believe a week is enough to complete the evacuation?
So this administration has continuously been pressed on the number of Americans that are being left behind in Afghanistan at this point, and it's not being able to give us an answer. And again today, John Kirby took the podium at the Pentagon and was not able to give a clear answer on how many Americans are left inside Afghanistan. And it's important to note that it's not just in Kabul. There are other areas of Afghanistan where Americans are calling in their constituents and saying that they're not even able to reach Kabul, let alone the airport, to be able to come out of Afghanistan. President Biden has said that he's going to stick to his self-imposed deadline, despite the fact that European allies and a member of his own party right now in Washington, after being briefed after having intelligence briefings saying that it is impossible to get out Americans, let alone allies, out of Afghanistan by that deadline. But what we're hearing constantly is how many people are being airlifted and coming out of Afghanistan, but we're not hearing how many are in Afghanistan. And by sticking to this August 31st deadline, the fear is when U.S. troops leave and the United States does not have the authority of the airport, then what happens to those Americans and individuals who are in Afghanistan who weren't able to come out if we don't have the exact numbers? And those are the questions that need answers at this point, which the Biden administration is simply not providing.
Right. Susan Tehrani and Anas Malik will, of course, keep a close eye on all those developments, leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.